Ahoy there, landlubbers. It's me, Kevin Smith.
Jason Hughes.
Have you ever wanted to get lost on the high seas with Jay and Silent Bob? Well, you're going to have your chance in the year 2024. Join us for Jay and Silent Bob's Cruise Askew. Live podcasts every night. We got movies on board. There's a View Askew museum. What else?
Music, dancing,
That's
whooping,
right.
hollering.
What are you waiting for, man? Jay and Silent Bob, cruiseaskew.com. We will protect you from sharks.
Hit me!
Episode 362, NOG-A-THON.
You've got to throw some cold water on this situation. Start talking about nerd stuff.
You know, nerd culture is mainstream now, so when you use the word nerd derogatorily, it means you're the one that's out of the zeitgeist.
System activate.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. It's a tech podcast. But we are a ton cooler than your typical geek.
You guys rock.
And now, here's Will and Trent.
Ahoy there, landlubbers. It's me, Kevin Smith.
Jason Hughes.
Have you
No one listens to the radio. I wasn't even listening. I was listening to podcasts. Podcasts are great. Radio's boring.
Thank you so much, one and all, for joining us on this most festive of times, the most holiday of holiday, the most festive of festive. Did I already say that one?
It doesn't matter because it's NOG-A-THON.
Yeah, it is, man. Welcome, everybody, one and all. How are you? Happy holidays. Happy Festivus. Happy, I don't know, man, all of it, right?
Yes. Happy solstice in 3 days.
You know what? If nothing else, I hope you have a ho, ho, ho. No, maybe not?
I don't know if
Bit
that's our
much?
word to use. I think only professionals can use that word.
Okay, fair enough, man. I'll go with it. I'll go with you on it. I have no
Okay.
idea. Welcome, everybody. An annual tradition that we still do. Last week, I think Trent said that there wasn't one that we missed, but I just know that in this world of worlds, Trent, there's just always going to be some things that get in the way. It's called life.
Yeah, it really is.
Right? I'm not sure we did one in, for example, 2018. Yeah. Don't know.
Real?
Yeah, I also don't know. I, of all people, don't know. I don't know if we started in 2012 or 20. I should, because I did look at. There's one place you can go for commercial-free versions of all of the NetHeads podcasts, the entire back catalog.
Yep.
And that's the NetHeads Patreon. But I'm not here to plug it. I'm just saying I was using it as a resource because now it's like, that's my database for show information.
Yeah, and one if you're doing a deep dive would have to wonder, did we do a NOG-A-THON with Radio Askew or did we start with
No,
NetHeads?
we started with this nonsense.
Okay.
Yeah, we started all with just under the NetHeads banner, which,
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's mentioned, but it's the name of a radio show that I took over in LA and then for podcasting sold the name. So cheers. As usual, I do have the honorary Clark Griswold inspired Moose Cup, not Moose Jaws, Moose Cup.
What is the mascot's name in Summer Vacation?
Oh, I never. Wally. No.
Well, it is Wally, I think, right?
No, it's not. It's not. Oh my gosh, why can I not remember? Is it Morty Moose?
I'm totally blanking on it. Yeah,
Morty Moose.
I don't know.
Is that
Morty?
too on the nose?
No, I'm gonna have to look it up.
Please,
it's too important.
If you all don't mind.
Yeah.
Zach, Michelle, Miranda, Diana. I always mess that one up. Wally World. So it must have been Wally the Moose. I don't know. All I know is Moose out front should have told you. But yeah, I never would have made that connection, but because I always assumed it's actually like a reindeer, right? That's what.
Oh, okay.
A floppy-eared reindeer mug. It featured, but then I uncomfortably notice what the snout kind of looks like when you look at it the wrong angle.
Here's what's so crazy about it. It's called Wally World.
Yeah.
It's Marty the Moose.
I was close. I was closest with Morty, which is logical because I don't know if you know, Trent, in the most un-Christmassy of Christmas things, but I would definitely say, if a fictional character were to drink a holiday drink, I think that Rick Sanchez would drink anything, which means he would also then drink eggnog, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
somewhere in there. I mean, at some point in the night, everything else has run out, right?
Yeah, totally. For me, I due to some
Lactose
drinking
tolerance?
from that took place with some White Russians, I can drink eggnog if it's not alcoholic. You put some alcohol in it, I will vomit.
Oh, is the flavor profile too similar?
But yes, yeah. Any milk and alcohol, woof.
Yes, for those that don't know, he was dressed as the dude for a party, and you were in character. White Russian. Now that is not Noggy at all, my friend. That looks like somebody is going to be doing some video editing later.
Yes, but there's nothing that a little amaretto and scotch mixed in doesn't just make it the most festive treat.
Oh, I see. So it's coffee with booze in it.
Yes, absolutely.
Good, because my favorite type of drunk is the wide awake drunk. Those are the best.
The hyper one. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It's the depressed, excited one.
Yeah, these are the things that happen. But the great news is they are also very verbal when getting pulled over later in the night.
Did you see the news of the DUI that happened in Delaware?
No, Trent, do tell, please.
Drunk driver hit the president.
Oh, how on earth did I miss this?
Did you really not see it?
No, I had no idea. Are you telling me somebody, a driver,
yes,
hit the president's motorcade?
Motorcade, yep, 100%. Can you imagine being in the bar and you're like, oh, I shouldn't drive, but I'm just so far away. If I get home and I'll be fine. I can make.
It's just a quarter of a mile. It's just a quarter mile, Trent. I'm just down the street. Okay.
Two right-hand turns. Just 2 right-hand turns. I'll be fine. Boom.
Exactly. By the way, special shout out as well to Willie J86. Hey, right back at ya. Trent, I'm not going to win Husband or Father of the Year awards for attending today's NOG-A-THON. I will tell you that.
You're not missing a Nutcracker performance, are you?
Oh, God, no. We made it through Nutcracker weekend.
Okay.
Which, for those that don't know, how do you not? But in case you didn't know, my daughter dances the ballet. She saw a production of the Nutcracker, fell in love, wanted to do it, which, interestingly enough, parallels story to another View Askew connected person, because Logan Muse, Jason Muse's daughter, same exact thing. They too had Nutcracker weekend. But so anyway, my daughter auditions for and usually gets a role now in a production of the Nutcracker. Always in the land of sweets, where productions can be a little looser and more creative on what they're doing. Okay,
right.
You're feeling me. So it's not necessarily going to be that really heavily Russian influenced kind of stuff. It's going to be something fun. So there's a rehearsal on Thursday night where you send your kids in there from 5 to 9:30. And then the next day is opening night with 1 show, Saturday 2 shows, Sunday 2 shows. My wife, the reason why I'm not going to win an award, Trent, is because my wife made an observation today. Okay, because there's some connection that moms have to their kids where they can look at them and know they're getting sick. Right?
Yep, 100%.
I don't know how they do it, man. I don't know how they do it, but there's something. It's always the eyes for my wife. She goes for the eyes. I go for the moose. She calls the eyes as the window to knowing if Blair is sick or not, right?
Yeah.
So she made such observation yesterday, and today Blair just said, "Oh, I'm always snotty in the morning." And then by this evening, she says, "I am sick. My throat is sore." My wife just made the observation a day and a half before that this time last year, last day of break, Blair got sick. And I believe it's a combination of adrenaline and exertion.
And maybe an altered sleep schedule might play
Oh
a
yeah,
role.
that's true. And lastly, of course, there's a lot of them in close proximity. So, because one of our friends is also feeling sick, and now, about 30 minutes before we went on the air, my dear beloved bride has informed me she is not feeling well. So I'm like, what? The whole half hour before we go on live, is there anything I can get you? Do you need anything? Can I do anything for you? Knowing in the back of my head, I'm about to disappear for an hour.
But I would like to think that you're cautiously self-isolating while the the contagion phases of their illness runs its course, and that way you'll be an even more effective caregiver in like 45 minutes.
It's funny you mentioned that, Trent, because like one of the things, I don't think we talked about it last show, because it's not really my place to talk about other people's business, but it did involve my house again. I think it was in the beginning of November. Emily got a case of the COVIDs. Okay. But it was fun. It was fun for us because she showed up and my wife instantly handed out the door a COVID test to her and then sent her up to her room. Then I hop into action, hooking up the 4 air filters to a fan. So that way you got a high capacity filter. And I set that up right outside her door. But the thing you got to remember too, dude, and by the way, if I'm telling the same story I've told before, sorry, but I love it so much. The way the house is built, right? The 3 bedrooms at the other end of the hall basically have their own suite. They have their own bathroom.
Right.
So I set that fan up there, and Blair just slept with Denise. I fucked off downstairs, and we made it through it. She got treated like a little like a COVID princess, I like to call it, because she was getting any food she wanted and anything. We just had a rule. I'm going to knock 4 times on the door, and then you got to count to 30 seconds before you get whatever I set outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we made it. So we made it through that. Now we got to see what's going on with these guys on this one.
How awesome is it though? Like, there's nothing more. Like you never feel more vulnerable than when you're sick. And why not be at home with your family when you are your most vulnerable? That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it was nice being able to take care of her and seeing that the isolation tactics work. And you know what, Trent? I'm not just isolating. I'm medicating, too. Let's not forget that, okay? Because the NOG is in effect. You know, by the way, Trent, I don't know if you know this. We've been NOG-A-THONing wrong the whole time. I know.
I didn't know there was a protocol that we needed to follow. I love rules. If you tell me the rules, I'll follow it.
Well, as I mentioned, Trent, the happy NOG-A-THON to you too, Jay. Sorry about that. And Willie J86 asked, have we ever heard of a movie called The Nutcracker Prince? I have not.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you.
Animated one?
I don't remember. I don't know of it. I don't know anything. No, you don't need to search it. Come on, man. Let's see now. We were talking about medicating. Oh, NOG-A-THONing wrong. Like I mentioned, because last week you had said, "Hey, isn't that a thing we've done every year?" So I went to go verify because I figure, the Googs can just give me what I want, right? Always does.
One would think.
We give them a little extra information, we get everything we want in return. So I did a search, and more often than not, instead of an episode of NetHeads, what I found were people out being healthy, going for a run on Christmas Day at a NOG-A-THON. Because, I mean, it's no secret that when I came up with NOG-A-THON, first of all, I was making a play on words, because the fact that it is anything a thon implies that it is a greater effort and volume than the standard you would encounter.
Right.
Which is not the case here. But secondly, we're doing nothing for exercise whatsoever as well. But, it's no joke that I did. I mean, it's no secret that I took that idea from a jog-a-thon, which is a similar type of thing. You know, it's an event
Right.
for every certain amount of distance. People fund you and you raise money for charity, that kind of crap.
The walk-a-thons, the 4K, whatever, to raise awareness and money for blah, blah, blah. We're raising awareness along with our blood alcohol level and just connecting with people that aren't with us that we want to connect with.
Exactly. You know, look, this is hopefully mostly annually the one time you can sit down at home with a cup of whatever you want, and you can hang out with the people you may like to listen to, you may like to chat with. It's a gathering. It's a festive gathering. Typically, we've done things like gift exchanges.
Yeah.
But interestingly enough, Trent, last week when I said, what is my dog barking at? Benjamin, by the way, I don't know if people remember last NOG-A-THON, I was dying of heat stroke under a Santa coat, and I was holding Benjamin for the entire thing because I think he'd only been here a week. Obviously, much different dog now, but there's no way I'm going to try and hold him for an entire episode as well. That's not going to happen.
No.
He won't
As
do
much
it.
as you would love to.
He almost took a piece of my face off. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Miranda is saying there was a skip year, and she said that maybe you had a new relationship or something. Maybe. Possible.
Maybe. You know what? 2018, that would have been the right time.
Could be. I don't have time for your silly little podcast games, sir. I am wooing a potential mate. I understand.
Well, you know, but lucky for us, in the 12 years we've known, how long have we known each other, Will?
You know what? Actually,
decade plus.
let me tell you something, Trent. There is one place I have got my stuff together. If I go to March on my calendar, okay, I can, and I were to look at a view, any other view than weekly.
Here.
So let's look at the month. And no, there's my birthday. That's not it. Oh, never mind. It's not the thing that I thought that I had tagged.
Oh.
Gosh darn it. I mean, this is a great bit of info on March 3rd, 2011. That's the first day that I got a phone call that led to working with Kevin Smith.
And then I remember the phone. I was, where was I? I was in Las Vegas, I think, when I got the call from you, kind of saying what was going down.
Yeah.
I was recruiting, and I was like, what? But regardless, so much time has gone by, and luckily, I've only ever had one relationship interfere with a NOG-A-THON. So silver linings.
Well, now wait a minute. I don't mean to keep pulling from the list of hits, but I would say that there is another time that a past relationship did interrupt a NOG-A-THON.
Well, I mean, relationship in a very non-romantic sense. Yes,
Yeah, very
there
good.
was.
So to answer your question, Trent, it's sometime in March of 2010, because by finding that note of 2011, I already know we had been doing this for a bit of time before I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now.
So going on 14 years, Will.
Yes, I've known you for 14 years. Isn't that nice? So which leads me to where I was going. I mentioned we would be doing NOG-A-THON, and there was one point I said to you, so Trent, what is it you'd really like me to not get you, is what I said. Because I jokingly said we were going to talk about the gifts we're not going to get for each other. Yeah. And I did not realize I had hit a nerve, didn't I?
Well, it wasn't a nerve. It's just more of a courtesy belief I have for giving gifts outside of your nuclear family. I almost said nuclear, like our former president. And it's that just take care, just like the gift you can give other people is not giving them a gift, because then that doesn't necessitate reciprocity to then give them a gift, and then that's a gift that you could have given to someone else that's there with you. And so if you don't give them a gift, it's like giving them a gift.
Yeah, exactly. So it was wonderful because Honest to God, dude, I was once again queuing up. I joked about it, but I really was. I was looking at Omaha Steaks again because I'm like, if nothing else, rather than some random piece of crap, I wanted to send you something that would be useful.
That being said, Will, the utility pen that you sent me last year,
yeah,
use it every goddamn day. It is like how I ever functioned without it prior in my life. I will never know. I use it all the goddamn time, especially, you wouldn't think, but the little bubble level that's in it.
No, I would believe that. I would believe that totally, because there are like so many times you're just like, you can, when you're setting up a camera angle and you're having to deal with multiple angles within the shot, one of the hardest things to tell is, I need one good solid line. So give me a good vertical, because, then I've got it. I can see at least if I can get some, or, give me a good horizontal.
Especially in buildings where they're old enough, like academic buildings that have been around forever, that there is no straight level floor in there. It can be helpful.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, man. I don't think people give enough credit to tripods, man. You know what I mean? Oh, my
God. Yes. And I will say that while they are more expensive, the extra cost for a fluid head is invaluable, because then you don't have to spend all your time dicking around trying to get your leg straight. You just unscrew it, get it to the bubble where it needs to be, screw it back on. You're good to go.
Done, son. Done.
It is a game changer. Even if you're doing photography, it's just so much faster and easier, and like, because we've all done it, and it is the worst trying to, like, you've got this one leg that kind of like drops every time a little bit, so you have to go over, and then it drops down a little bit, and you can't quite get it where it needs.
Why are you trying to make me resurface trauma, man? Why do you do that? Don't do that. No,
yeah, my bad. Sorry.
I get it. I used to do event videography. I mean, just because that was always the one thing you had to find. Just give me, and I was always dealing with adjusting legs. It was always legs. All right.
Yep.
And you know what? Look, I don't mean to I love the tripod as well, but let's also make sure we give full credit where credit is due. If you're doing a simulated freehand, then, the monopod also has a place. Okay.
Love the monopod. Yeah,
that can save your shoulder if you need to cover some stuff with a lightweight camera that'll sit on it. So,
or if you're using a traditional ENG, a shoulder shot is great. I love a shoulder shot.
I do too, man. But then again, that's the way I'm used to shooting and framing things. These cameras and lights, they confuse me, Trent. I don't know why I have them.
It's so interesting though, because like my students now who are really into videography, they're all using these like mirrorless cinema hybrid photo cameras, and they have to build like cages around them to make them more usable for the things you need.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just always used like an ENG that's got everything on it, so which is basically what we were using with VHS back in the day. Same thing, same idea.
It's funny you mention that, because like I've seen a few of these things where people have like a digital SLR, and they, instead of like in anything for like a shoulder mount or anything else, instead it looks like this is going to be an obscure reference, right? But it looks like the thing that was inside of like Optimus Prime in the Transformers movie. I can't remember what the name of the thing was, but
the life spark, the life shard.
Yeah, there you go, the life spark, or you know what, kind of like the holder for the Tesseract at the end of Avengers.
Yep. Exactly what I was going to say. Yeah. It's these like cheese grate style cages that they build around the body of the camera.
It's funny you mentioned that. I was looking at that Bamboo A1 printer that I was bitching about last week, because it's so much better and available compared to what I'm waiting on. And one of the things that they said, it's like print for your life. And one of the things was a guy building one of those types of frames to go around a cell phone.
Oh, yeah. I have seen those. Yeah. Uh-huh. I mean, it's nice because then you can they're all quarter screws. You can put them in. And
by the way, Zach and Miranda Janelle coming in with the Allspark is what it was.
Oh, Allspark, that's what it is. Damn it.
Anything where you got two handles on either side and twists and locks, and That's what we're talking about. But I don't. How did we get into gimbals and tripods, man? I don't remember what's going on anymore. I don't think. I don't. I suspect this NOG is not not the light version.
Yeah, I I had a buddy in high school we called tripod.
Trent, that falls under the category of TMI. So anyway, last week in the discussion, we came to the determination we're not going to put that pressure on ourselves. We're going to allow ourselves to focus our money and our efforts where we want, and we're not going to get each other a gift. And I already told you, Trent, so the gift I would have gotten you would have been the Omaha steaks is what I would have gotten. And, if I had ordered at the time, you also would have gotten another free 12 hamburger patties. So I'm sorry that you're not getting those now.
You know what? It's even better because now I don't have the temptation of just eating them all in one weekend.
Now I can just stick with my potatoes, Will.
Yeah, that's something I do. Like if I buy something, I cognitively believe I need to get it out as a temptation. So I'm going to eat this whole bag of Cadbury mini eggs at once, because then once they're gone, they'll no longer be a temptation.
I mean, there is a certain logic in it. There's something I can't fight there.
There's no logic. It's ridiculous.
No, it's not. They're not there. They're not going to be there tomorrow, Trent, to tempt you.
It's true. That's true. However, those calories sure still are around, though.
Oh, Miranda Janelle saying next year, buy yourselves presents and then share it and ask each other questions so we can learn about it. That's a good idea.
Hey,
even though there's only so many questions you can ask about what I would guess would be get another 3D printer, What does this one do? Same shit, a little bit faster, a little bit better.
Faster, and accepts some different formats that I didn't have before.
Look, man, all I'm saying is if I get into getting another 3D printer, right, I'm officially at the point where, well, one, I've got 3 too many printers alone, right? Let's call it at least to the point where I should maybe be passively making income by printing things out for other people. You know what I mean?
Well, I was gonna say you need to build like a server rack, but just for your printers.
You shouldn't say things like that out loud, Trent, because I put in the shed and there's stuff to get rid of in the garage. I literally could repurpose some shelving to be the place where the other printers go.
Yeah, man. This was leftover bolt together shelving that I found. And it's been a game changer for me. It would be nothing to throw it together. Actually, they're all set in the same spot. Plug them all in. You got good circulation, so they're staying cool-ish.
Actually, you know what I've seen a lot of 3D printing people use? Not that I'm saying I'd put these in my garage, because I would literally still just repurpose all the wood and 1x3 that I've got out there now. But what they get are you see them all the time. It's just the standard orange frame, metal wire shelf, heavy duty rack. Yep. So that way it's not going to shimmy.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But then the other thing you have to do, that's a special consideration, because if it's going to be on that type of shelf, then you have to have it on top of something else that will help reduce movement, whether it's a piece of plywood or one of my things I'm very fond of doing for cutting sound is getting a 2x2 rubber paver and then getting a 2x2 regular paver, or are they 1x1? Well, 1.5 by 1.5, I think. And so that way you got a heavy thing, you've got the printer sitting on a heavy thing, sitting on top of a sound reducing and friction reducing rubber pad. And I find that's the best combination. So I'd have those on there too. But I'm tempted, but then I got to look. I can't even get out challenge coins and rewards. What am I going to do for orders?
That's what I'm saying. You'll always have something running,
Maybe I'll always have something shipping, so that way things will actually go out.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, Trent,
just saying,
I shouldn't make this announcement, but if you're one of our Patreon supporters, then hang in there. And I only say that because since we weren't exchanging gifts, and because I hadn't touched things in a while, and because I have not had a successful run on my own, I have submitted the order, and I will be receiving in mid-July minted Patreon exclusive NetHeads challenge coins with the combo Will Trent as the back of the coin as the poll won. So around the end of January of next year, those will start going out. And because of the minimum order amount that I had to buy, every active Patreon supporter is going to get one. Everybody.
You know, that's actually super rad. And if people aren't familiar with like the whole concept of a challenge coin, 99% Invisible did an awesome episode on challenge coins, their history, where they came from, why they're so big in the military. Yeah, check it out. It's a cool thing, I think, anyway.
That is one of the cool things to see when the president goes places, because there'll always be somebody that will catch it and end up putting it on social media. But, you know, if there's a moment the president is coming off the plane and he stops and he's talking to a member of the armed services that is there, if you see him his hand in his pocket and then he shakes the guy's hand, he's probably slipping him one of the presidential ones.
Yep, exactly. Ah, so cool.
And for a while there, if you had probably said the right thing to Jon Favreau, if you had caught him in the wild, you would have gotten a Mandalorian challenge coin.
What?
Yeah. It had the sigil of the of whatever the mud beast was.
Yeah,
the mud horn. Is that what they called it?
Thing? I don't know, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it no, that's the other thing that was in the water. Don't make me. I can't remember the name of the beast now, and you're making me lose cred.
Yeah.
Why did you bring that up?
Well, the thing is, honestly, I was like, for some reason in my mind, I was like thinking, oh, sweet, are we going to get a Happy Hogan challenge coin? Because that's the one I would want.
Yeah, sorry, no, man, it was the Mandalorian, which is the thing that made me go this route to begin with. Now, I will say, the higher tier subscribers, I'm not giving up, because I've still got the pewter ingot, I've still got the 3D printers. And, you know, it's just a matter of refreshing, because I want to get to a point where there are, so these are like the ones, and then there'll be a special design, an even more special challenge coin, if you will. Yeah. Because you'll know, like, this is one of the ones he made himself. Yeah,
this is the home brew straight from Will's newly built rack system. And I was there at the NOG-A-THON when they were talking about it live. I heard it. I heard them talking about it.
There we go.
And now it's in my hand.
Zach in the back coming strong in with the info that it's the Mythosaur that's the thing you're talking about, with the horns coming around and you see the things of the face.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the Mudhorn, which is the Mandalorian signet that is on his the shoulder pad.
Yeah. Yep.
Pauldron.
Yeah.
It's a pauldron. I know, because of the whole Batman costume thing.
Oh, right. From when, the pauldron is the shoulder plate.
Exactly. Yes. Which, by the way, not a practical piece of covering, because you basically have to wear like cross straps.
Yeah, for it to be able to move up and down. Yeah,
and when you're attaching it to like a collar piece with just a piece of Velcro, it's not a very functional. Halloween. I'm just saying.
Like if I were to use it in if I was building my own armor, I would take the football pad approach.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to use like a ring to attach the two pieces, but you know, I ran out of time. Look, we're not here. We're not trying to rehash Halloween, Trent. We're talking about the holidays. And how I'm a bad dad right now, because everyone out there is sick and I'm in here hiding from germs.
Better a bad dad than a bad Santa.
Fair enough. Even though, you know, I'm like, I grabbed this Roosevelt shirt because I'm like, oh, it's red and it's festive, and I didn't realize it's Blunt Man and Chronic, and there's like one point where Jay's Lightning is sparking a joint, and like, I'm glad I never accidentally wore this one during a work meeting.
Well, I mean, at least from the distance of my eyes from the screen, I thought they were hollies.
See, look, why did I have to blow my cover?
Yeah, now I'm going to enlarge and see, or maybe I was thinking they were like poinsettias, But yeah, no, that's yep. What, man?
Well, you know, if you want something like this, you can get it from a little place. May not be there in time for Christmas, but look, even if you got to buy some last-minute gifts, you can always print out a picture of what you got them and wrap that up, especially if you want to get it from a little place we like to call it Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash.
Hey, man, let me just jump in here for a sec to remind you, jayandsilentbob.com, ladies and gentlemen. You want to buy anything Clerks related, anything Jay and Silent Bob related, anything Kevin Smith related, go to jayandsilentbob.com. Now back to the show.
Trent,
Yeah.
I've been thinking about something. We've been getting into interesting conversations lately. Because now that we're off of the back of the pandemic, right?
Right.
I've started to reflect a lot more on what's appropriate for family gatherings around the holidays, right?
Yeah, okay.
Well,
okay.
and the reason why, because you have different structures, right? As a family expands and people get married, they establish families of their own, right?
100%. I am well versed in this subject.
So when that happens, there's the Thanksgiving and there's the Christmas or the holidays or whatever you want to call it. But for us, that's what it is. And we've always done this thing where we went with, it's one of the two holidays for the year, okay? One of the two holidays for this side of the family. And so it alternates. Every other year, it's something. So like this year is the Christmas years. So the odd years are the Christmas years, even years are the Thanksgiving years.
Sure. Yeah.
When it comes to getting together on Thanksgiving, though, sorry this one is very so specific, guys, but it's one of those things where it's a holiday, but it's kind of split up by two major events. You
Those
have
being?
Christmas Eve,
Right.
and you have Christmas Day,
Hey. Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Now,
Two major events that in most families have very unique traditions assigned to the different days.
right. Now, and mostly you can, but that's kind of where I'm going with this, because in 2020, I got a taste of something I've never had before, Trent. And that's where I was just at home all day on Christmas Day in my pajamas. That was it.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Felt good, didn't it?
You know what, Trent? I can't even tell you if I bathed or not. I don't really know. I don't know
Yep.
if I did that day. I may have just stayed in the pajamas all day. Cooked dinner that way.
And it was fine.
May have sat in my own filth all day. I don't know, okay? But what I do know is that I liked it. And it made me start to reflect on something. And I'm not trying to bring this up now to start some shit. I'm not trying to do that, okay?
Okay.
But I don't even think I'm trying to plant the seeds, but I am really trying to raise an awareness here.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about this. Like, the holiday day itself is supposed to be about exchanging gifts within your family and appreciating one another and being with one another.
Yeah.
And I started to think, when we do the family gathering, it should really be on Christmas Eve.
Okay, go on.
Well, because you can get some of the gifts and stuff out of the way for the whole rest of the family that you're gathering with. And then you can go home and still do your Christmas Eve tradition of your family. And then you get to wake up the next morning.
Yeah.
And just stay in your goddamn pajamas all day. All right?
And yeah, exactly. And you get to, if not already established, figure out what traditions work for your family. And then there's some regularity to it because it's not like every other. It's like just every year. This is the way it is. And we always have this time for us. I think it's actually a killer idea. And it kind of stretches out the holiday too. And it brings so much less stress for the day of.
Right? Because, it's,
Right?
again, look, I think we've got nothing but adults in the room. So I'm not afraid to say that the night before Christmas Eve, look, all I'm saying is it can be a very long night for parents, okay?
All systems are go, folks.
You know what I mean? Everybody's on high alert. There's sensitive operations going on.
Yeah,
You
there's assemblies of things that need to be done with somewhat amount of quietness, which
Yet
is really
still
hard.
mechanical and metal parts. What the hell, guys?
Exactly, which is so fucking hard with those damn Allen wrenches.
Exactly. It's like, God damn it, I dropped it again. Why can't they give these damn things a handle?
The mitts.
So I'm starting to think this is a great idea. My wife pointed out the fault in my perception, because tonight was another day. Well, today was another day where sometimes you got to try and jumpstart that holiday spirit. You understand, Trent? It's been sitting out in the cold. Maybe Christmas spirit hasn't been used once in a while. Battery's been sitting there a little too long, right?
Dude, I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
Got to step out, give that sucker a crank, and just make sure it sparks back up again. And the Christmas spirit is that way. So one of the things that gets invoked in this house is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, right? Now, my example falls apart when you realize that everyone except for the aunt and uncle, whose names elude me right now, everyone else is staying at the Griswold house. So my plan falls apart. But I would point out their family gathering, where everyone is under the same roof, is on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, where they do the turkey and everything. Yeah, that's all on Christmas Eve. You're right, because day of is the excitement of opening the presents and shit.
You know, this is a great idea, and I'm going to tell you another reason why. Unfortunately, once again, getting very secular in this. But you know those wacky Catholics, Trent, they love themselves on Christmas Eve. I don't know if you heard about this, a midnight mass.
Midnight mass, man. Like bring it in, then get the hell out. You did your hour, you're good to go with the family.
I'm telling you right now, you do your family gathering on Christmas Eve. You get to exchange gifts, have a great meal, have fun. You go serve your time with midnight mass, and everybody goes home. Yeah. And because again, it's a long night, people. It's a long night.
You're already geared up to be up all night long.
I think we need to establish a platform for this, Trent, because I think we need to raise awareness.
Yes.
Because there are more families that are just completely unaware of the fact that they're being inconsiderate dicks getting together on Christmas Day.
Totally. Growing up with my family, when we'd get the extended family together, it was always Christmas afternoon. And it kind of like dragged on into the night, and you wanted to leave, but you didn't want to be the first to leave, and you just wanted to go home and hang out. But
the funniest part,
leave Grandma and Grandpa there alone. Like
the funniest part that you mentioned, Trent, is that there's always, you're either one of two people. You're the one that's getting the hell out of there, or you're the person. No, you're one of four people. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're the person that can't wait to get out of there and does. You are the person that doesn't want to be the first person to go, so you're waiting.
Right.
You're the person that doesn't want to go, and you're wondering why alpha male number one here isn't getting the clan together and leaving, because you know they're chomping at the bit. And and the last is you're the person that just doesn't want to go home. You know, it's one of the four.
Yeah, like my brother. He'll chat up anybody for days and just be oblivious as to what's going on around him, because he's having such a good time engaging. I wish I had that.
Yeah, see,
so
yeah, exactly, man. I'm just saying we need to raise awareness. We need to make sure people are aware of the fact that they can get together on Christmas Eve and enjoy their Christmas Day.
Dude, I'm so with you on this. I don't know if we need to buy like a domain. I know I have the scrotalsafetykommission.com available if you would like that.
I'm just trying to think if I can spin that into an anagram of some type, or
yeah. No, I mean, I originally got the domain so that I could build the site that the Venture Brothers Scrotal Safety Commission deserved, but just never got around to it.
I completely understand, man, because there was a point I was working for a company called Comedy World, and I had to be the one that had to register a domain like hotgrandma.com, and now I don't even want to know what's happened to that one as time has gone on.
Or the time you forget to renew the whois as private, and then you just get inundated with calls of people being like, I see you have a website. Perhaps you'd like to hire me to work on it.
I can. I'm very good at search engine optimization, and I can get you more clicks through better coverage that doing nothing other than what you tell I do now thing words.
I have. It always happens because I'm like, I don't care if it's public information, but whenever it renews, I always get calls, and I have two plans of attack. I tried to get them to hire me to see how long I can get that conversation going, and then I tried to sell them the domain.
Oh, it sounds like you can do much better with this. I think maybe you should take it. I'd consider giving you a reasonable price on it. It sounds like you could really make this work.
Yeah, or I'll try to so can I talk to your supervisor? Because I've got my resume. I can send it to you right now. I would love to be working on more websites if I could. You sound like you know what's going on. They never know what to do and end up just hanging up usually.
Oh, man. Speaking of family gatherings, by the way, I heard this little gem. So let's say, because look, unfortunately, we're still here in the U.S. living in a very politically divided country in some ways. But I heard somebody make a suggestion. If you've got one of those people in your family that is going to bring up politics and say something that's more than likely being said to get a rise out of you, all you have to do is keep your calm and just look at them and say, what a weird thing to say to me. And they're instantly, completely and totally obliterated.
I'm trying to think how do you respond to that?
I wouldn't know. I would just be like, I would instantly be worried there's a call to HR being made or something,
Right. Yeah, totally.
It's like, oh, I'm in deep shit now, Francis. This is not good.
No. Oh, no. Aunt Lorraine's going to come down on me hard.
Phrasing? I don't think you can say that, man. Easy there.
Sure, I'm not a professional.
No. But, what do I know? I didn't even know somebody ran into the president's motorcade.
Look it up.
You're actually more dialed in than I am, Trent. Hey,
Yeah.
So what is your family gathering strategy? Is that it? Is it the Christmas Day around 3:00?
So with when we gathered as extended family, that's what it was. Yeah. Now it's more Christmas Eve dinner, very loose, not like it's a casual dinner. You can eat standing up, walk around, talk and stuff like that. And then day of, you do your own thing and then pop by for a few minutes to say hi. Maybe breakfast. Sometimes we'll pop over for breakfast, but it's not like an expected to hang out for a long time. It's pop in, say hello, and then go do your own thing.
I mean, but you don't just pop into Wyoming, do you?
No. I mean, I'm projecting on those who live around my parents' place.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's what you all should be doing. Not me.
Yeah. No,
Not me.
No.
Okay, so you're backing up my theory that Christmas Eve is the family time.
Oh yeah, it is. It's like with the nuclear family, that's the way it should be done. Well, at least that's how we do it. And then for the extended family, why wouldn't it be that way? I'm actually really angry that I have lived so long and under this dictatorship of Christmas afternoon time spent that I'm a little upset that it was never suggested before.
This Christmas oppression will not stand, man.
Yeah. I have buddies that died in the mud so that we could have our rib roast on goddamn Christmas Eve.
The way God intended. Hey, speaking of which, what is we just got through Thanksgiving, right? And I cooked all the things I wanted to make sure they would taste the way I wanted them to taste.
Right.
And then I also, because it was so damn cheap, I bought another turkey. No idea when I'm going to make it, but it's going to sit in the freezer probably until 2025. Sure. What is your go-to on Christmas though? Is it a roast?
Yeah. So Christmas Eve, it's beef tenderloin roast. Yeah, prime rib roast. And then Christmas morning, it's Ebbelskivers.
Skibby what?
It's a Danish pastry. They're like little pancake balls.
Oh wow, that's neat. I just learned about something else. It's like some big Swedish pastry that people look forward to getting at Trader Joe's.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember the name of it, but it's like some big cheese Danish thing.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, sign me up.
Actually,
You said-
one of the things that Denise picked up from a friend a while ago, and it's one of the things that Emily expects every Christmas morning. It's basically a quick shortcut to a kind of a coffee cake-ish thing. Because you take a yellow cake mix and you add, I think, vanilla pudding mix to it, and then bake it otherwise it's prepared. But you also do a sugar and cinnamon blend, and halfway through the pour into the pan, you do a layer of the cinnamon sugar, and then after you've laid down the final layer, same thing again.
Yeah.
So
that gives you the crumble like to the top.
Yeah, so it becomes basically a coffee cake, and it's delicious. And I think that's one of the two like traditional things we'll have Christmas morning. The other one, I seem to always try to find the recipe that I used the previous year and never can. But it's also it's English sausage rolls.
Go on.
You get the I think it's puff pastry.
Okay.
And you distribute it into, I think, 3 triangles instead of you do that. You basically you roll it out thinner, and then you divide it into thirds, and then you put in a seasoned onion and sausage mix.
Ooh,
and
chopped.
Yeah, and then you basically turn each one of those triangles you turned into 3 tinier sheets, and so you fold it in. And it basically and crimp the edges and brush it with an egg wash to seal it.
That is so like, why in the hell have we ever been eating like pigs in a blanket? Because this actually sounds so much better, and it's more or less the same idea, but it's actually like done like with like panache, you know?
Yeah, man, it's got a little style to it, but
yeah, and the savory is distributed more proportionally for the entire consumable product, like
Trent.
Which to me is a big deal. Like that's the worst part of eating a pig in the blanket is like you bite into it and then it kind of falls apart. Like this
yeah,
fucking mind blowing.
But Trent, also that lower part of the sausage roll, it gets both soggy but crisp.
Yeah, dude, like
look
the
at
second
you.
Said it, like in my brain I was like, oh my god, you're right.
Yeah, it is amazing. So look, I'll tell you what, to everyone out there that might have heard this, if I can find the recipe that I do actually like, I will share it. But I will say, if you don't already have your puff pastries by now, you should really try and get them in anticipation of doing this, because I already realized I have probably screwed up.
Yeah, you're going to be looking for any sort of like canned dough that you can find that's available. Oh, dude, working in a grocery store around like Christmas, New Year's too, there's certain things that just like are gone. Like the store has no more of these
Trent,
things.
Or you hear the dreaded words, Trent, we need you to restock bakery items.
Yeah, well, I was during high school, I was the frozen manager. So yeah, that was like Rhodes dough. Like I had to like try and guess the ordering at it, and like so you're ordering well in advance to try to have enough to fill it, and then if it goes on sale at the same time, you got to fill the end cap on the frozen, and those Rhodes orange rolls around Christmas time, man, crazy. Everyone buys them.
Yeah, man. Well, we all love bread. You know what I'm going to do right after this show, Trent? I'm going to go take from the giving ooze, and I will be making bread.
Thank you, Master Splinter.
I mean, it's the thing is, it's just, I realized how just silly and weird my life is now, because, I've gotten to the point, Trent, where I have developed a system when it comes to making bread now. I know when I need to feed it to get buff it up, to give it that readiness that
I would argue that it's not a system. This is part of your life now.
I mean, it kind of is, because one,
right? Like,
you feel bad if you haven't fed the starter,
right?
And then you got to find stuff to do with the discard, and I've now gotten to the point where to get the result I want and I like, I think it's like a 3-day process.
Yeah. Yep.
Because tonight I'll still be able to mix the dough and do all the folds and everything, and then it refrigerates overnight. After that, the next day it gets shaped into 2 separate proofing baskets, and then I will keep it in there for up to about 2 days.
But so that's just outside proofing, right? You're not doing like a steam proof or any like heated air on.
No. It's a cold proof in the fridge.
Okay.
I put little shower caps on top of my proofing baskets.
Okay.
You
Sure.
know, and then I realized I'm like, this isn't proofing. This is the basket whisking the moisture out of this high hydration dough I'm making.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really doing.
Exactly what it is. Yeah.
Bastards lied to me. I didn't realize what I was getting into, Trent. Next thing I know, I'm trying to make that blue product everybody loves. I was just trying to make a little money. That's all.
Sometimes when you're that damn good at it, it becomes an art.
Yeah. Well, that's true. So it's like a 3-day process to get the results that I want, or I shouldn't. I guess I should say that's how I get the consistency I'm looking for, right?
In the dough.
Yeah. Because you want it to do a certain amount. You want good oven spring so it rises and all that jazz. But like now I also realize I'm limited because I was thinking, there are a lot of people, not to toot my own horn, Trent, but there are a lot of people that like my bread, right? They want me to, and some of them, and they want me to give them my bread. Okay? No, this isn't like a Jesus thing, and it's not a euphemism. Get your mind out of the gutter, all right?
I'm just wondering if there's any kinks I need to know about before we get into this, because I've never been, been able to have your bread.
Don't worry about my loaf, and my safe word is mahalo. So I realized, though, I've only got like 3 proofing baskets at most. I can do 2, pardon me for the phrasing, but I can do 2 batards, which are a longer, more rectangular loaf.
Oh, okay.
I know, it was a very questionable word. Or then just like the standard fancy round loaf. So I can only have like 3 active loaves at a time using my proofing baskets, unless I want to get into like using kitchen towels inside of bowls or pans to serve the same function.
Right.
Because I was thinking I would love to make bread and send it to everybody that I know that would like it. Sure. But then I'm like, there's just, I'm not equipped for this. There's no damn way.
The bakery at the grocery store I worked in had like its own proofing carousel where you would slide the rack in, and then overnight it would spin and have air circulating within it to proof so that everything was ready in the morning.
Oh, nice.
And that way you could do it in one night. It would go from frozen, proofed, and then ready to bake in the morning.
Hot dog, man. See, that's what I need. But then I'd still fall behind in the baking. Because the other trick is I don't know how to make this bread without making it steamed.
Oh, right, yeah. Which is why you need the high moisture density.
Yeah, because that way hopefully the bread's giving off its own. But I'm always doing things like, what did I do? Oh, I had tried to make mini loaves for Thanksgiving because I had this stoneware mini loaf pan. It makes up to 4 mini. Yeah. I think I just answered my own damn question, actually. The mini loaf pan is the secret, Trent. I can make a bunch of mini loaves.
Yeah.
And then distribute those.
In fact, that's back home when neighbors are, giving their yearly whatevers to all the other neighbors. That was always the most coveted. Were like the small, be it banana bread, pumpkin bread, whatever breads. They were always in the small loaves, though. That was the most coveted, neighborly treat to get.
Well, it seems impractical if you cut a mini loaf the way you're used to cutting a loaf of bread, because basically it looks like you're making little tiny pieces of bread, like you're getting ready to make some type of fancy cheese cracker out of bread or something.
Yeah, like cucumber sandwich style, like very small.
Right, but
lengthwise.
Yeah, exactly. That's the trick. You do it that way, and you can at least get like 2 pieces of toast and maybe a sandwich out of it.
Yeah.
But that is definitely, I think, the way to go. But when I did that, in order to make sure that I got enough moisture still, I don't think I sprayed the top of the bread, but I had to turn a metal pan over on top of the mini loaves, so that way it at least encapsulated the hydration. And the other nice thing about a loaf pan, by the way, is I'm sorry, we slipped into bread talk. I apologize.
I'm digging it. I'm loving it.
The other great thing about the mini loaf pan is that, you know how I talk about you want oven spring? When you got rigid walls, when you've got bread that's being made kind of in that well, that structure is literally baked in. So you don't have to count on it rising as much on its own. Sure, it'll just naturally force itself up. So you get a much springier thing too. Well, there we go. I now know what I'm going to do.
Problem solved.
Exactly. So, but then actually, you know what? I actually have one of those food savers too. So as long as I don't take too much air out of it, I can seal them up. Oh, maybe I can get some of those. I can get some of those food grade hydration controllers.
Yes. Yeah, or even throw them in the freezer. Seal them, throw them in the freezer.
There you go. And then ship them frozen, so that way then.
When they arrive, they'll be good to go.
We'll test it out, man. I'll let you know how it goes. Unless if we find out I'm mailing mold all over America.
Well, and I'm just saying, Will, this attack, this approach that you've thought out, we've ideated right now. I just think it's the same approach that can be done with the 3D printers once they get all set up.
Why would you turn that back on me like that? Why would you bring that up again, man?
In my mind, it's so cool. Just like you got like 6 of them all just bam, 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 like cranking shit out.
Yeah, and which one you do is just based on timeline because each one of them is iteratively faster.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, this was less important, so we'll put it on this one. And this one we need to get out a little bit faster. We'll put on this one, and we've got this one that all need to be doing the same thing at the same time, so we can just crank them as much as possible.
I mean, could you imagine though, if with that many printers, I probably could literally do that to the point where at least $1,000 of passive income a month.
Oh, in filament?
No, I mean like in profit.
Income, sure. Yeah, totally. Absolutely you could. Because the main cost, which is the printer itself, you've got.
Yeah, and they cover the shipping.
Since you've built it up over time, smart way to do it, have them work for you.
There you go, man. I'm going to put them to work. We're gonna get a printer farm going in the garage, and then every single day I'm going to hear my wife talk about fear of a house fire. So that'll be fun. Yeah.
And but the nice thing is that it's such a soothing noise that's very uniform and doesn't change at all.
No, wait, Trent. Let me tell you something. Here is something messed up. Okay, I want you to consider this as somebody that does video and audio. And somebody that at least has a tangent, you got a loose connection to 3D printing, right?
Yeah.
Get this, Bamboo Lab, the same place where I'm like, they have leapfrogged Anchor time and time again.
Right.
And I've had enough of this. They have found a way to do a calibration test to alternate the boot up sequence, the speed and tone of the fans to where they can adequately print and produce counter sound waves to make it quieter for printing.
That is awesome.
So if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, imagine the exact same thing that your noise canceling headphones do.
Yeah.
But instead it attenuates to its own fans to use its own hardware to cancel out noise.
That is, like, the engineering on that is so smart. I'm blown away, man. That's, God, I mean, to think about it, that's probably I know that's what's done with, like, modern cars. A lot of modern cars are done that way, right?
Yeah, so why not just take it to the one device that has a whole bunch of annoying fans? So much so, I modded a printer just to make it quieter.
See? Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I also got to tell you, Trent, one last thing. For the holidays, every time, that's the time of year, I'm not publishing it to anybody, so don't worry, guys, I'm not fishing. But one of the things I do for my family, because I'm a person that's a problem to buy for, because me. So I always put together an Amazon wish list, right?
Art?
Now, I did something to make printing in the garage better, because I have the resin printer out there, right? And so my wish list right now has, of all things, it's basically a 2x2x4 grow tent. Okay, for hydroponically growing plants in the house.
Oh, gotcha. Okay,
So-
yeah.
Because if you turn that on its side, you can set your resin printer, your resin curing, and hell, maybe even a PLA, FDM printer in there. Because
Yeah.
when you're melting hot plastic, you're giving off fumes as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about the fumes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I've now got that on my Amazon wish list. It looks like I'm trying to grow weed in my house, but no, I want it for 3D printing.
I was just gonna say, so when your somewhat less acquainted relations see that on the list, and they're like, God, he's just really self-medicating lately, huh?
What the hell is going? Do we need to have an intervention?
He knows it's legal now, right? Like,
Why go to all the effort? I mean, they got stores on every corner in LA, I think.
I mean, he's in California of all places.
But there's another logical reason other than just fume control. We've
Why
got
do you hate
Nemo
me so
down.
much? Why do you hate me?
I need to. I keep thinking I need to email the company because their drop sensors seem to completely disregard input when they are trying to home in on their charge station. That happened,
really?
and that guy had a green square, so he was turning around and fell
Oh,
because he's just going through a pre-programmed sequence to try and hone in on that green thing, and it just anyway. So the other practical reason, other than fume control, though, Trent, is at least during the winter, I can also better regulate temperature in it.
Right. Yep.
So that way I can keep it around the 72 degrees that resin printers like.
Right.
Well, all printers. I mean, really, that's a good temp to be at. So it has a practical reason, but really, it looks terribly, terribly questionable. So much so that I felt I needed to explain that to my wife.
Yeah, like I think, in fact, I know on some, lists you can make comments on.
Yeah, I should probably put that in. Honestly, it's for the 3D printing.
Exactly. Yeah, just to qualify why I'm asking for this, folks.
To be expressly clear, it's for the 3D printing. Regardless of what the characters are doing on my shirt, it's for the 3D printing.
You're putting off some vibes here.
Yeah, speaking of which, I'm also putting off a lot of heat. I think it's time to wrap this bad boy up, Trent.
Let's do it.
Awesome. Hey, everybody, happy holidays to you all, since you probably will not be hearing from us before it. We also wish you all a happy new year. If you are at all intrigued by what I had to say about challenge coins, you can go to patreon.com/netheadsonair, or you know what, just go to netheadsonair.com. It may be horribly updated and half functional, but it does have all the links you need to find all the important stuff. I mean, or you could go to thatwillwilkins.com too, but more importantly, don't forget to check out on all the social medias a part of him, which is who our good friend Trent here is. And also, if you can, hunt out on the YouTube's Devotion Wrestling. Give him a check out, right?
That's right, yeah.
You know,
we just did our 5th anniversary show.
Oh, there you go, man. I was looking when I was doing the NOG-A-THON search. One of the things that popped up last year was the Lauren Gardner commentary track.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Which we totally screwed over because you were trying to do it in a deadline, so you didn't really do the whole thing. But I don't blame you, because there's only so much I could probably comment on our own show as well.
Yeah, it's true.
But you know, that's like a Patreon exclusive that you could get there. So anyway, there's all the salesman-y pitchy thing. But you know, most importantly though, thank you for being one of the ones that are with. Oh, wait, hold on. Stop the press. I got to tell you a funny story, Trent.
I'm all ears.
We got an email, netheadsonair@gmail.com. We got an email from somebody who said, oh my God, because we're available on Spotify as well, right? You got to make sure you're available everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
And they're like, oh my gosh, the Spotify algorithm is strong. I hadn't seen you guys or listened in years. I called in about Dildonics. And sure enough, this episode, what do I hear? One of the first things is Dildonics. Love the show. Miss you guys.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Right? So algorithms can be good for some things, Trent.
Yeah, it's keeping us tied to the things that matter, like Dildonics.
Exactly. So with that, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Happy New Year. Happy holidays. All that jazz. Until next time, my name is Will.
And I'm Trent.
And we will be back
next year.
Oh wow, yeah, that's kind of accurate, isn't it? Dang it!
Yeah.
I just realized that. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. See you next year, everybody. Damn.
This is NetHeads with Will Wilkins and Trent Hunsaker. Signing off.
I know, right? But stop being a little Nancy and deal with it.
NetHeads. We'll be back soon.
Goodbye.
This has been a Smodco Internet production. Sip. Only at smodcast.com. Look, I'm going to say the naturalness and spontaneity of your little Smodco Internet radio or Smodco Internet production dance.
Yeah.
I think now that you can see yourself, I think it's a little different. I'm just saying.
It's maybe maybe a little less authentic. I'm just being self-critical here, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a little more aware. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
just a little bit nuts.
I appreciate it. It's still one of my favorite ringtones that I use fairly regularly.
Just like fiber, man, it's good for you.
Yeah.
Which are a lot of potatoes. There's a lot of fiber in potatoes, everybody.
Yeah, it's not digesting in your stomach, but more in your, as I've been reading up on resistant starches, it's in your lower intestine.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
no, that was perfect. That was it's like playing the Oscar music.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't mean to play you off, but